Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, the dead cat bounce, everybody is calling it. Are we witnessing a crypto relief rally that is ultimately going to fail? I've got a lot of things coming your way, friends. Bitcoin's open interest, very interesting. The biggest drop in history since 2022 has just occurred. We'll cover that. Some US Fed, Christopher Waller, hinting at more rate cuts. We're going to be speaking about the Dogecoin ETF coming up closely. China secretly mining Bitcoin. Those dirty, dirty little scum boys over there after banning it. I'm going to be covering that. Some AI, some MetaMask, all of that coming your way and more. And even crowd favorite Tobly. But first, we have to look at the BTC prices, my friends. We have right now, this is the Bitcoin CME chart, okay? The CME chart, friends, there is no gap, okay? There is no gap here. However, what people do is, I think they go down to like this 2 hour or 1 hour chart and they notice, oh, there was a gap here. Oh my God, I actually closed it. Whoopsies. Apologies, friends. There was quite some racism. I thought that this thing was not filled. We actually, we actually came back and filled it. I just went, look, man, I'm telling you, friends, the TradFI dudes, how they think, right? Because this is how I used to trade. So a lot of this, what happens is there's certain sessions where big cash amounts move in. And then when the hours are outside of that area, pretty much, I'm not joking, friends, literally most models out there, what they do is they set a fair value. They go, okay, you close that. Let's say there was a stock price. Yeah. Let's say it goes from 90 to 110. It closes at $100. Okay. After the cash session, what they do is they'll mark $100. You know, it could be a bond spread, an oil spread. They mark the $100. And then they go, okay, if it goes to 105, I sell. If it goes to like 95, I buy. Because theoretically, it shouldn't move outside of the session because the liquidity is thinner. So you're kind of like thinking, hey, who would want to move a lot of money down and push it down that far? Because, you know, it would just revert. Most of the time, that's actually how they work. Now, you cannot do that in crypto. Why? We are 24/7 and we have no fair value. That's the funny part, friends. Let's crank it a bit. No fair value, baby. Because we trade 24/7, okay? That's the thing. Even on weekends, it doesn't matter. Crypto can move on weekends. It doesn't have to come back, okay? What we're witnessing right now as well, friends, when you see Bitcoin at $88,000, 88, almost $89,000, just so everyone knows, right, there is, look, just from the CME as well, there is huge, huge, huge expectations that anywhere from 93... 99 and even 107 that this will fail, okay? Pretty much everyone in crypto expects ranging relief. You hear the word relief bounce, dead cat, relief, rally. When you hear relief, it means they expect it to fail like all the others. It's part of Wall Street cheat sheet, kind of funny as well. But what we'll do now, friends, we'll go and dive a bit get a bit more friendly. This is remember I have my line of friendship here. We'll go through the channel of friendship. This is Bitcoin on the monthly chart as well. Do you see this box? This box is the soy box. And what does this represent, friends? This represents where an overwhelmingly large majority of the crypto market, I've made a whole video for you as well. Literally 31 KOLs. I literally showed you 21 KOLs and I mentioned 10 others in the video. They all expect Bitcoin to come down here. Friends, and it's funny, all different types. Blockchain backer who uses Elliott wave squiggly lines. Ivan who's using his own stuff. Ben Copen who's using his own risk metric stuff. Every single person is going to call it Shoutout. We have literally everyone, friends. Everyone. I think my friend Mr. Carlin talks crypto. Literally, I could literally bang. DD from the Bitcoin family. Oh my God, like everyone, friends. Oh gosh, like literally the whole crypto industry. Besides 2 people, okay? Actually, no, you know, they are Crypto Lark and Randy Boo from Crypto Banter, his show. So it's just fascinating, man. It's so stacked. It's so stacked. Okay, now this zone. What is this zone, friends? I mean, you have anywhere from a 45, right? Because they know that this 200-week moving average, it broke in the last cycle. So no one's going to expect this to definitely hold, right? So they have a range anywhere from 45 up to 75. Okay, that's pretty much, this is it. Okay, this is it. Everyone expects this to pretty much be touched, all right? Now, we don't know if it's going to get touched. You don't know, okay? Touching in a family-friendly way. We're trying to do our best here. But it gives you an idea of how everybody's positioned, okay? You know, it's funny, friends. I watch... Friends, I watch so many of them. They all say the same thing. They all say, you're all too bullish. You're all trapped. They all say that you're in denial. All of them say that, and they go, no, it's gonna get a whole lot worse in 2026. You know what, man? It could, man. It could. Honestly, it could. I've already accepted it a long time ago. PMI's been down for this long. I've already told you, friends, I've written off this whole year. Remember, friends, 2 months ago, I just read off, I think it was September, I just read off all of this year. And I said, I'm even going to write off until January, February next year because Year of the Horse starts February 16th. So, and I do expect one more skits, Year of the Snake thing to kind of appear at the end, the final, like the final boss coming out to get you one last time. This is Bitcoin on the monthly chart, friends. It is respecting my channel of friendship. And I just want to remind you of something, something as well. So back in Feb of this year, which is funny, I think Blockchain Backer, friends, he kept doing this fractal where we go up and we come down, but he believed it will be all over. And even back then, I said, wouldn't it be funny if everyone thinks it's all over following his fractal, but then this is actually the bottom of a channel? I remember I ended up joining the channel, and I can actually show you where I got that from. It was a 2017 cycle around the end of the year as well, where Bitcoin, everyone thought it was over, and then it continued up in a similar channel. And what I'll do now, friends, I'll actually show you Blockchain Backer charts. I want to go through them with you because I'm always interested because I'm like, well, he's contrarian. Because he's contrarian. Remember, just because you're contrarian doesn't mean you get everything right or anything. It's just I just find it interesting, like, oh, he's contrarian, but what we've noticed now. So that's why, friends, if we make it through this, look, I want to remind you as well. We got Uncle Bobby, he's contrarian stuff as well, but like, there's other people, like, they still doesn't mean they get everything wrong or everything right, but like, they sold on Trump expecting a recession. You see what I mean? I'm just give you an example of like, oh, system, that's it, override. Okay, so that can happen out of panic. And then I was like here to override the system, and I thought, well, I think that was more of a panic sell. Okay, and many people, I think Ivan sold 30% of his portfolio, said, yeah, I'm getting out, right? So, but then, that's the thing, friends, because it went up after, they don't say, sorry, I cost you 30% of your net worth. No one says that. Okay, but if it goes down, they come back and say, oh, I saved you. See? You have to listen to me. That's all crypto KYs. That's why they really get the crowd's attention like that when people who continuously watch, okay? So here's the thing. Do we override this? Look, I'm still holding long, dude, because friends, I'll show you. Bitcoin dominance is still going down, okay? And others BTC is like ready to curl up. They're ending QT. There's like thousands of things telling me to override the system. Plus what I'm about to show you. So that's fundamentals and long-term macro stuff. But what about immediate short-term? Well, Blockchain Backer as well, friends. This is Blockchain Backer's chart. This is the 50-week moving average. This is the 100-week, okay? So you think about it like the 1 year, this is the 1 year average price, and this is the 2 year average price. So pretty much whenever Bitcoin goes to the 2 year average price, they usually say it's all over. It comes back to the 1 year average and ultimately fails, and everyone's expecting it to be poopy town. He's expecting anywhere from like $69,000 to $60,000 or whatever. Okay. However, you noticed as it comes down, everyone's stacked. Everyone's following it. Okay. Look, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, because this is the thing, friends. So look, you might be sitting on the sidelines and go, but hey, aren't you guys here? So aren't you here 18 hours a day? Isn't there like a mad indicator we could just make and use which tells us? The answer is no. There is none. What I'm doing now, look, I'm here 18 hours a day, friends. I'm trying to qualitatively, using like, X factor weirdness, just see, hey, there's the indicators, there's this and that, there's all the odds, but what's the crowd doing? What's the crowd doing? What can I actually feel? Because I'm here 18 hours a day. Friends, it's almost like sometimes, there'll be like a really good, maybe a basketball player. He'll wake up on the day and he just look, they just look outside. They go, oh, it's one of those days where I'm not going to be as sharp. So I've got to maybe do more passes and less dribbling. Do you know what I mean? Like it's an X factor that they just do, that they program automatically because they just do it so many times, okay? That's what I do here. That's what I've tried to do here, but I don't know if I'm right because we don't have any sample size. I don't have like a mad, 30-year Bitcoin history of predictions or anything to go off. So I'm winging it. But we've seen it from before, right? So the crowd, friends, this is the thing. Like I would be concerned personally if they were all saying buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. None of them are saying it. No one's saying it. Literally no one's saying buy the dip. Rand's saying buy the dip. CryptoLark, he's saying he's bullish. He doesn't even say buy the dip. He's like, oh man, it's really, really bad. Okay, so he's not even saying buy the dip. It's just Rand. I'm telling you, man. Friends, and yeah, you're not saying, but Sam's always wrong. No, baby. You got to remember over time. Yes, Rand's odds, some of them, they shift a lot, but isn't it interesting? There's literally ran from crypto bands, and then there's 31 other people saying, don't buy the dip. You're in denial. It's gonna fail like all the others. I find it funny. This might be like that one certain scenario where Rand's actually contrarian. It's funny. But also, you got to understand something else as well, friends. We'll play some Pumpy G music for this, okay? So, you can't use someone as a signal forever because they start learning. They learn from PTSD and trauma. So, they learn not to do that. So, their win rate goes... So, if someone's got a 10% win rate, you just got to do the opposite of them, right? Jams win. For example, now 10% is not zero, but it's 10%, right? Or Jim Cramer, right? Jim Cramer, you know, a godly 0% win rate, okay? But if someone has 10%, you fade them. But what happens over time is they grind it up to around 50. They become around 50-50. That's what happens over time. That's why, like, unique signals that just refuse to learn are rare. So this is Blockchain Backer's other chart showing that the last time in 2021, when we broke under the 50-week moving average, which was the 1-year average price, and we went down to the two-year average price, which is a 100-week moving average. So from 50, break down at 100. He believes we're going to bounce off here, and then it's pretty much all over. Okay, that's what he believes it's all over, as in 60K. Okay, so just showing you where that pattern has happened before. And everyone is relying on that pattern again. This is it in 2018. We broke under it, and then we go up, and then there's literally that, and then boom, capitulations. Funny, I joined Bitcoin and crypto right here, and I watched it capitulate out there as well. And then if we continue as well, just want to show you more charts. This is XRP's chart. This is wild, man. Friends, he was going from calling $10 XRP. He sold at $3, right? And now he's saying it's going back down to 20 cents. Jesus. Oh my gosh, man. Now I know why the community hates him. Jeez. That's why the XRP community is livid. Bro, you went from calling for $10. You're like, $10, $10, $10. I'm actually selling. No, we're going to 20 cents. See us. Jeez, man. Look, you got to understand, friends. Look, obviously you probably see, but so, I mean, no one's entitled to anything. That's right. We all know that. No crying in the casino, but... Look, I'm explaining to you. I'm curious. Hey, how does this stuff happen? What actually happens? Well, now we see it. What happens is people confidently, they build a reputation. Confidence. Look at this. I'm still this. I'm still that. Confident. And then they change in 2 seconds and they go the other way and they go, oh, now we're going down. And what the crowd doesn't like, what people don't like, because it's not authentic, okay? Because you remember, you're like, wait a minute. You were so confident of this thing the whole time. Now you've changed your mind, and now you're so confident of that other thing. And that's why if you listen to the crowd, that's my friends, these KOLs, they go, you're in denial. That's what they all talk about. Like, they'll say stuff like that. But what they do is they have confirmation bias. So they think, oh, you're angry because the price is maybe going down. Therefore, I'm the contrarian, and I'm going to be the genius. That's what the KOL, that's all the influencers that are acting like. It's totally wrong. Read the comments, okay? These people are not angry at what they think. They're angry because you read the comments literally from every single major KOL. Okay, everyone's saying, they go, for every person, they go, listen, you were so confident of something happening, and now you've completely flipped early. You were so wrong, and now you've like completely ignored the fact that you've been totally wrong, got no idea what the hell's going on. But now you've learned nothing, and now your confidence is like still just as high, except for the other direction. Like, you know, people having this like wake up moment. I think, friends, they're not even getting rugged by the price. They're getting rugged by what they think is a trustworthy KOL. That's pretty much what it is. So coming out here, this is where he believes we are now, friends. This is XRP and Cardano. Cardano rugging the whole way. That's what he thinks is coming to XRP. Wow. He believes XRP. I think Ivan believes XRP is going down to 40 cents and everything's game over as well. I think everyone's going to lose all their value. Yeah, man, that's an entire crypto industry, friends. 3 trillion. That's like... they're betting it's going to go back to like 1.5 trillion as an industry. Man, that's insane. Like, we got 350 billion stablecoins, and the US Treasury Secretary says, yeah, guess what? We can pay off our Ponzi debt a bit with it. We're going to put 2 trillion of stablecoins into the system. They've told you we're going to put 2 trillion into the ecosystem in the next 4 or 5 years. And these KOLs are saying, yeah, we are going below 1.5 trillion as an industry. And they're stopping QT. And they're cutting rates. It's just... man, look, if this works out, turns out they're all in the mid curve, right? If this works out. But if it doesn't work out, okay, well, whatever. We have to eat it anyway. We're like, it's been garbage anyway. Okay, we've accepted it. This is the Bitcoin chart that BCB believes we are following, where he thinks it's all going down. Jupiter believes that we are just going to keep going down out here. If you notice on this chart as well, Bitcoin hit 88K. So he was expecting, so this is the funny part, friends. We never even got this like little recovery thing. It was just like scammed down pretty much, down. So he thinks we are here. I guess he thinks we are where we are there, and then the next thing's going to fail. He thinks we're either somewhere there, and everything's going down. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just pulling out random squiggly lines from the past. We'll see. I also have a friend here, Mr. Polarity. It would be nice, Somi, if you covered my recent insights. It's juicy. The University of Michigan, consumer sentiment versus gold line. Wow, awesome. So just look at how correlated it is. So I'll just show you his post here. We've been in a bear market. I trust the real data. I don't know, sir. You've said we've been in a real bear market. We shouldn't let bears... Yes, sir. When I show you the PMI, just so everyone knows, I've said this many times, but I don't know, I make a lot of content. The PMI is just one. I can show you about 14 other data points. There's consumer sentiment. There's the housing index. There's different ratios. Copper gold ratio. I can show you we've been recessing for Main Street for 36 months since 2022. We never got out of it. I could show, literally there's 14 data points. It's just that they're so cumbersome, they all say the same thing. I just show you the US manufacturing PMI because it's nice and clean. Okay, that's why it's very easy for everyone to access. You don't need to look at a ratio or anything out here. So thank you very much, Mr. Polarity as well. Good stuff. Now, something else we've got to check out as well, friends. So global liquidity here. This is the chart here. We have, so the US, the white dots is the US Fed balance sheet, just so you can see, Federal Reserve balance sheet. We have gold that's gone up. We have global liquidity still up here. And obviously the red is the US, is Tether market cap. Now, obviously the green line, friends, the green line, the gold liquidity, remember, it's got an offset. And look, Bitcoin moves first. All right, so that's what everybody is concerned now. They're wondering, okay, look, man, is Bitcoin front-running that liquidity is about to crater? Because that's what's happened in the past 40 cycles. So Bitcoin tops out and then liquidity rolls over in like 5 to 6 months. So look, but here's the thing, right? In the past, in those cycles, like there has been monetary policy changes with the US Fed around that time, okay? And specifically, the PMI went up first, okay? That's another very, very important point, which I'll show you now, all right? So in each of the cycles, right, there was liquidity injections. It went into Main Street, but then eventually it eventually rolled out, all right, in each of the 3 crypto cycles, yeah? In our one, there has not been anything that's gone into Main Street. Pretty much, they have not given them bread and circus. They haven't gotten them. People are still struggling out here. People are grinding their wheels. And look, it might be, friends, this came to me recently. It might be that next year, financial markets suck, right? But Main Street gets the rotation. Wall Street kind of slows a bit, and it's a Main Street thing. Now, you might say, but Sami, we're a financial market. Are we a financial market in crypto? No, we're not. No, we're not, dude. Altcoins are not a financial market. Altcoins are just an extension of the business cycle, really. They're part of Main Street. They're like the heart of an economy, the heart of everyone out here. They correlate straight with the PMI. Okay, which correlate with Main Street. Yes, which makes sense because we're so far deep risk curve, okay? It's a call option on a network effect growing in the future, okay? Bitcoin's a bit different. Obviously, Bitcoin follows, that's why I have it here, my Sami's guiding forces, right? I have it here. Sami's guiding forces. Bitcoin follows global M2, the money printer, so the financial asset markets, but altcoins follow the business cycle. So the money printer alone is not enough to force altcoins up. It is not enough, okay? You need the money printer actively seeping into the economy and helping Main Street. Now, friends, I want to show you some Bitcoin dominance stuff because it's actually wild. It is actually wild. Here it is. I mean, friends, we're making lower lows, man. Like we're ready to go. We're so ready to go. I don't know how these look. I don't know how. No one knows. Look, next year could be bad. You know, it could do the fake out. It really could. It could do just like how it faked out here. It could do that. But if you go back to other technical indicators, I'll show you right here. These technical indicators, this is the weekly super trend. Okay, we're still red on the weekly super trend. Man, we're so ready to go down. Like we are so ready to go down. It's kind of funny. I guess, friends, everyone's gonna think 50 is the level. So look, based off this chart, I feel like we go to 50, we poke under it, and then that's maybe the end of the wave, and everyone thinks it's over, and then we actually somehow we cut back down to 39. I don't know if it's going to be this year, next year, not going to be this year, but like, you know, we'll cross it as we get there. You know, we haven't even had any sort of move whatsoever in any of these, so anybody could justify sitting through the pain of any sort of correction. So it's just going to take more time, I guess. Now, I think it's very important for us to look at. I mean, we have the Bitcoin. I'll just show you quickly Bitcoin price action. We'll come back at the end. We'll visit this as well, just to show you here, doing this tiny little V. Remember, there are levels down here. Is this, look, it is possible as well, okay, that for December and into January, right, where altcoins are strong on the Bitcoin recovery here, and then in Year of the Snake, right, Year of the Snake, something happens where Bitcoin goes, you know what, I'm going to just go tap the Donald Trump thing. And everyone thinks like it's really, really, really over, and then we come up, okay? But maybe Bitcoin makes a lower low here, and then altcoins make a higher low or an equal low. That is one possible scenario. The thing, though, is about that is literally everyone expects it. They're expecting it's all going to be bad. That's what they're all believing. They're believing in that pattern, the thing to fake out on the downside. But we're going to we'll cover that a bit later again. Now, what I'd like to show you is ETH BTC ratio, and we'll look at others BTC. So, friend, remember, this is very important. Remember, this is a ratio of Ethereum to Bitcoin, and this is just wild, man. It looks like it is repeating back in the previous bear market for crypto 2020. Where it flipped green, okay? It flipped green. It's like, you know, flipped green here in Feb 2020. And then maybe it's curling up and it's going to do that. Maybe it's going to do that, friends. Maybe it's going to go up, hit 5, back to the ETF spot, come back down. Everyone thinks it's over. And just something is going to happen, man. Maybe it's going to do something like that. It was doing this curl up here. Many people say this is not going to happen, but you got to remember as well, look at this. As I've shown you in my ISM and my Siamese guiding forces of crypto, what we now know, this is definitive, okay? Bitcoin is statistically special. Bitcoin does not need the PMI to go up at all. It doesn't need it to go up, okay? Topping out and stuff, okay, maybe different story. But to go up, Bitcoin does not need the PMI. It just needs global liquidity to go up. It just needs any form of money printer. Statistically, it grows. It rallies in a bear market. As soon as they print money, they go, oh, we're printing money. Okay, Bitcoin has buyers. Okay, altcoins don't. Altcoins, the money printer is not enough. You have the phenomena of the business cycle. Okay, so that's what makes it different. Now, it could be because we're so early to altcoins, or whatever it is. Okay, Bitcoin is trading. It does trade more like crypto's digital gold. It's risk off. That's what it does. It does trade like that. Now, is it going to be forever? We don't know. Probably not. But you'll see. But for now, that's what it is. But it's had a long run already. Okay, it's had a long run already, and now the Bitcoin dominance is rolling down, and we'll see what happens in that point. Right? Is that Ethereum rising? Like, you got to imagine, can we see a world where everybody's still risk off, and it's just Ethereum goes up by itself to reprice higher, but then no one gets excited? I don't know if we can see that world. We'll see. Remember, friends, we are also watching the Russell alongside all of that as well. So here we have the racist Russell 2000 here. And I've adequately labeled it here for you because they reset before in a very, very racist fashion. So we have the racist Russell 2000 here, friends. Remember, it was below the all-time high of 2021. It was like hovering around it. It's come back down here, and now it's come back as well. Like, obviously, we're still under it. It's not that much of a distance. It's very easy for it to go up. But yes, we're having a look at this. Yeah, it's like 2 or 3%. I want to remind you as well. So we have AI. Everyone's scared that the bubble's popped. But there's 2,000 companies in the Russell 2000. 1,000 don't even make money, pretty much. Could we see a world where they start using AI, which helps them become profitable, right? That's another, I'm thinking about future narratives out here. And yes, this is obviously been a lagging index compared to everything else, but it's because it's a Main Street risk-taking index, right? Because like think about like retailers, friends, like you need your business to be doing well for you to go, you know what? Because you have a friend who says, you know what? There's a company here. They haven't been making money for 3 years, but they've got some new contracts coming out, and I think they're going to do good next year, right? You can't even think of that if you're struggling to pay your bills. Okay, but if you're a retailer and stuff and you see these things and you're like, you know, I can afford to take on more risk. I think they'll turn it around. I like the way this CEO talks and stuff, right? But no one's thinking like that yet. You can see that by the PMI. That's why the PMI is down at 48. We need it above 50 for friendship. Now, let's crack on with some news, friends. So the Bitcoin open interest just witnessed the sharpest 30-day drop since 2022. Okay, I'll cover this again later on, but this is actually huge, huge. So the open interest, friends, look at this. It's such an enormous wipeout of people, and a huge amount of people got out. Huge, okay? Absolutely enormous. The last time you saw this many people leave crypto by leverage was in FTX 2022. Look at this, the last point. Whoa, man. This is a lot of people selling, okay? And I know, friends, it's kind of funny, this data, it confirms what I already saw. I told you in all the KOLs, BCB, Ivan, Laurentian, as many of the KOLs, I check the comments. I see what you, the audience, say. You, the people, I'm here to serve you. I see what you guys are saying. And a lot of people are saying, okay, I've sold here with you because it's going down anyway, right? It's going to be a relief value. This thing's going to fail. I've clicked out now already anyway. Thank you. Thank you. I'm on your side now. Many comments. Many comments like that. Okay? I was surprised. But not really, because you're just like, you're like, well, kind of makes sense, right? Because it comes down, they go, oh, it's going down. My thesis is confirming. The relief rally that's not even here is going to fail like all the others. How about you wait for it to go and stall out before you talk? But that's because that's why they're so convinced. It's so priced in next year's going to be bad. It is so priced in, right? So you got to think about who's offside. Like, okay, if Bitcoin goes to 70, 60, 50, 40K, you guys are buying. Okay, cool. And it's already been garbage anyway, so nothing changes. All right, what about if Ethereum breaks $5,000 by next year, April? What then? You have a plan? What's your plan? What if instead of it's going down, what if it's going up? What if the next move is, what if instead of Ethereum breaking 2,000 on the way down, what if it actually breaks 5,000 first? Do you see what I mean? You know what I found, friends? I found actually all the KOs, they don't actually ever draw that scenario. I found it. Like they've given it literally, they say, oh, it's low probability, but they say 10 to 20, but it basically means zero in their head. You know, they don't even discuss it. They haven't even planned it. They go, hey, what do the moving averages look like? What does that mean? That means, okay, this time it's different. That means the liquidity cycle, the PMI, do you have any plan for that? Nope. That's why if people are forced to buy back in, it'll be total mayhem. Total mayhem, because they got nothing to go off. They've only relied on one thing. The super trend broke, 4-year cycle and all that stuff. It's all broken now. You got nothing. That's why it would be absolute mayhem if that happens. Fed Governor Christopher Waller says he's advocating for interest rate cuts at the December meeting. And what I'm going to do now with you, we're going to go to the CME Fed Watch tool, and we're actually going to check it ourselves, friends. And as you can see, there is now an 80% chance that they're going to cut rates by 25. 80% chance. You see that? Do you remember, friends, last week, it was 30%. It's kind of hard, friends, because I'm here. Do you remember what I was saying? Just to refresh your mind, I said, guys, I don't believe him for one shit. I don't believe him. I know what their game is. Their game is they're gonna cut, they're gonna do QE, but they're gonna blue ball us every step of the way. They're not gonna give you what you want. You want them to say, oh, we're gonna cut rates to zero, we're gonna do QE, we're gonna support markets, go, go, go. No, they're not gonna do that. Inflation's too high. It's structurally high. They're not going to do that. Major loser pounds, major loser. So instead, what they're going to do is every meeting, they're going to toe the line. They're going to walk the line. And if everyone goes, oh, they're definitely cutting, right? They go, no, it's not definitely. Nothing's definite in this life. They're just going to say that. Markets temper down. They don't get the bubble pop, right? Instead, they get more like oh, no, we're resetting. And then they go, oh, okay, well, guess we'll cut. That's what I think is going to happen. They're going to walk it down. I think when we go look at it over time, it'll be very, very obvious what was going on. No one's figured it out yet, okay? They have not figured it out, which is, that's not top signal stuff. Top signal stuff is where everyone figures it out. Oh, they're going to keep printing money forever. That was 2021. We're all going to make it. That was a top because it's now priced in, okay? So if we see PMI up and Main Street, the people who are eating the bread and circus, if they're coming out and saying, oh, wait, you have to do global liquidity going up forever. You're a central bank. You're inevitably going to have to buy Bitcoin. Hopefully the industry is worth 10 trillion plus by that point. That will be the cause for concern. We're not there yet. We don't even know. We'll get there. Tom Lee buys an extra $80 million of Ethereum. He bought 69,000 ETH, and he now has a total of 3% of the entire Ethereum supply. So he has 3.63 million out of 120 million, 120. 3.5 out of 120. He's got 3% total supply. His goal is to get 5%. All right. Also, friends, Dogecoin ETF is getting closer. So Gayscale, they have a Gay Dog, the G Dog. It's a Dogecoin ETP exchange traded product for Dogecoin. And just to let you know, friends, some of you, I was talking to my friend Charlie the other day on the phone, and because Charlie's a really good indicator for stuff. Okay. And he was shocked at when I told him this. It was kind of like he's in disbelief that we can go up as well. Because I told him, I go, look, we're talking about, the Trump family and, just what we expected this year and how we all got bonked in most stuff, right? And Main Street, nothing's picked up. And I said, let me tell you something. I go, there's a Trump ETF coming, right? He goes, what? No. I go, yeah. He's serious. We're here to pump bags, dude. He's the president to pump the bags. If there's any president in freaking history that is going to get crypto up, it has to be him, dude. It's not going to be the socialist that everyone elects after because the money hand. Because, friends, what's probably going to happen is if they do the global liquidity and crypto and asset prices go up, maybe Main Street recovers a bit, but not for long. And then maybe inflation goes high and they have to hike rates again. Or they have to just stop it a bit. And so Main Street's going to probably elect more of a socialist Democrat next time for America who's going to hand out more money to people like that, because friends, you got to remember, you'd be like, oh, but everyone's in crypto. No, they're not. Dude, friends, on TV, they're going to come out and say, oh, you're one of the finance bros. You're one of the crypto bros. Like, we're not. It's many people out there just sidelined, and they're going to be sidelined forever. So, yes, friends, Trump does have an ETF coming for his meme coin. Yes, I think Canary have filed for it. I've reported for you a few times. Yes, it's one of the coins to make it on the list. Dare I say, friends, at this point, if we do pump in 2026, I'll be first in line to say, you know what? Give us that crypto 20 index and make Trump one of those coins in there. Just put it in there. That'd be funny, man. That'd be really funny. Oh, I love it. It makes me get inspired for the future a bit. Bitcoin mining is quietly resurging in China. As per Reuters, China now accounts for 14% of global hash rate. Remember, in 2021, China banned Bitcoin, so they got all their insiders to dump thousands and like 100,000, 100, 200, 300,000 Bitcoin on everybody. They dumped it, and then they rugged everybody. They go, oh, we're banning Bitcoin. We banned Bitcoin mining, and they banned it. But now people have checked the hash rate, and 14% is coming from China. So they have been they've been lying a lot and just basically very, very untrustworthy when it comes to that. And that's why I joked that they're probably going to re-ban Bitcoin later on. That was one of the FUDs that kept appearing for crypto, is when China was always threatening to ban it, and then they did ban it. They did eventually. President Trump accepts invitation to visit Beijing in April and invites President Winnie the Pooh for a US state visit later that year. Hope it all goes well, but we don't really know. Depends on the markets. We'll see, whatever. Amazon is investing up to $50 billion to boost US government AI and supercomputing systems. So I think it's very obvious as well, friends. Palantir, Amazon, Apple, and whatever, Google, they're all going to be government-sponsored AI. They give them all the power. Of course, we all know it's all moving. They're going to socially ID everybody to access the internet. Everything's becoming some sort of AI transhuman, not transbender, but like, transhuman as in like you're cybernetic. You hook up to all these nodes and you're connected to the internet. Maybe it's basically kind of like you're just becoming like an intelligent species, I guess, over time. But you and I don't live long enough really to give a crap. So I just want us to get our bags pumped, please. Also, very on a side note, friends, but just to remind you, do you remember when they gave us a zombie virus jab? Everyone out there, yes. People have done research on it. Just to refresh you, they've done research on it. Do you ever wonder what was in it? I wonder, like, what the hell was in it? What was in it? There was some dude, obviously he made some books or something. I forgot. It's called the Internet of Bodies. I've made a video on it. Internet of Bodies. Do you know how the World Economic Forum, they have the Great Reset? They make this word, but if you look into it, you're like, oh, I don't like how that sounds. They give it a nice word. They're called the Internet of Bodies. What's the Internet of Bodies? What's been happening over time? Stuff in the water, stuff in the air. They're spraying pesticide things. There's other things in the pesticides. There's things in the jabs, right? What are they adding over time, right? What they're adding, we don't know exactly what each thing does today. But if you look at the whole picture, it looks like they're basically building a cybernetic AI robot in us over time. It just takes long, I guess, for our DNA to change. So it basically allow us to hook up to advanced systems in the future. Don't know how long the future is. You might also say, but who's they? Who's they? Look, we don't know, dude. We don't know. Definitely not humans. It's definitely some sort of NHI control there. Yeah. Like, imagine we went to a jungle and you had a monkey. And let's say the monkey, you were going to put him in the back of your race car. You're actually going to put a seatbelt over the monkey. The monkey, you just put like let's say you put gloves on the monkey. He has no idea what gloves are. Yeah. And then you put like little cute boots, monkey shoes. He has no idea what the shoes are. And then you put like a leather jacket over him. He has no idea what that does either. And then you put like a helmet over him and he has no idea what the hell's going on. And then you put him in the back of the car and he can drive. But you can't explain to the monkey, hey, you're going in the back of a car. Like, who's driving? How does a car work? What's a car? What's a combustion engine? You're like, just shut up, dude. Just sit down. That's pretty much what this Internet of Bodies seems to be doing, okay? Then you can understand, when I read that, it made so much sense because I'm like, oh, that's why they don't bother explaining to anybody. You know, so that's pretty much where it's all moving. That's why I also have a clear pill approach. Some people have a black pill approach where they think it's all bad. Also explains why as well, friends, autism rates went up. Why? Because now they find out autism, you're basically, people autistic, okay, they're tapping into different realms and channels of information. Their brains are just, they're not fully tuned to like our 3D realm. They're like accessing other places. They're basically, their brain's working overtime. They can see other stuff and communicate telepathically and stuff out here. So it's almost like they cranked up a bit of the like cybernetic juice when they're giving it, and more kids are coming out autistic. So they might like kind of slow it down. It's kind of funny how they're just all manipulating humans and all this is happening in the background. But you know, it is what it is. As long as we got Chomley, crowd favorite right here, Chomley, buying up our bags, I think everything's going to be sweet. Now, of course, remember I told you, friends, you will also frequently hear everyone's like saying, the relief dead cat bounce is gonna go down. You're hearing that every single day. I'm just giving you examples. This is literally everywhere, friends. Relief bounce. Give people a little bit of hope and bullish feelings when this feeling hits next nuke down. As said for multiple times already, the downtrend is in. This is very, very common. It's Mr. Ted Non-Blanket, aka Mr. Ted Pillows. Very common out in the KOLs. It's funny because I was making my juicy news. I was putting my content here for you, and that was the first thing that appeared on the feed when I just refreshed. And I'm like, oh wow, I'm gonna use that for the thing straight away. It was like one of the first things that pulled up. Also, friends, look at this Twitter Spaces going on right now. Look at the name of it. Warning: fake Bitcoin pump. See, all of these everywhere, friends. All of these is just pretty much, it's showing you, man, everyone's stacked. You know, everyone's stacked. So I want to remind you as well, okay, everyone's stacked. So, you know, next year could be bad. It could be bad. If it's bad, though, I don't think it's going to be as bad as everyone expects because I'm seeing them price it in now. So, be my friends, remember the heads and tails? I don't know what next year's going to be. I don't know. It's just that I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, to be long, you get like way more upside. Like you're going to win $10 on the heads. You're going to lose $1 on the tails to be long. And if next year's bad, I don't think you're going to lose $10. I think it's going to be like 1-to-1. I don't think it's worth taking. That's what I'm looking at everybody out here. So, but yeah, man, each of their own. You can do what you want. If you want to play around with that, you can. Okay, you can allocate effectively. This is others BTC, and we have QT ending as well. QT is ending. That's why, friends, like, you know, if you go based off 4-year cycle, okay, it's over. But if you also base off the fact that we go down when they withdraw liquidity and we go up when they insert it, that means it's going to continue. It's a believer's cycle. So where are we going to go from here? This is Bitcoin, friends, $88,000. Everyone, I can tell you right now, everyone's saying sell this area. It is interesting. Everyone's saying sell this whole area. Sell this whole area. I wonder what it would take. Like, you got to think about if we're going. So this is a very vertical steep drop. It is a vertical steep drop. Even if it comes back down here, this will be judgment right here. If it comes back down here, this will be the judgment. Because that's what everyone, I almost guarantee it, it's gonna probably do something like that. Right? And then there you go. And then what's going to happen? Is the next part going to be a fake out? And then year of the snake continues into year of the horse? Or is this going to happen? Pop and do that. All right. Because that pop, don't think they're all going to get in. They're going to say, no, now it's going to be dead cat bounce again. They're going to use everything, okay? Those are just squiggly lines. All right. I'm looking at Bitcoin dominance. I'm looking at altcoins. I'm looking at the Fed ending QT. I'm looking at interest rates coming down. I'm looking at PMI still low after 36 months. See, friends, what everyone's saying is when they're short and they're out, okay, they're saying, and they're like dead cat bounce. They're saying, okay, PMI is down for 36 months. They're betting that it's going to be down for 48. So another 12 months below 50. Man, we're already in Black Swan territory, man. That's like, to me, what you're telling me is, okay, this is literally it, okay? It's like, all right, it's like you're telling me we just saw Black Swan event for zombie virus. Bitcoin dropped 55% for the month, all right? And now people, they don't want to buy Bitcoin at 5,000 to 6,000 because they said, well, you know, I think it's going to drop another like 55 to 65% in a month. And many people believe that, friends. They go, well, you know, it dropped 50% here. Okay, so it's going to drop again 50% here. Go down to 2,600. And I'm not making this up. Da Vinci JV, many people believe, friends, okay, we're going to have one more leg down that's just going to take us lower. And the bear market's extended for a year. Everyone said that. And like, you know, now it's obviously you look back in hindsight and you go, wait, man, we just had a black swan. You're now betting on like a double black swan? Man, that's insane. Like that's a 1 in 1,000 year event, really. But you can only say that with hindsight now. Back then, it wasn't easy to be like, oh yeah, this thing it's actually black swan levels already, right? So this channel of friendship, I hope it continues to hold. This is where everybody believes that they're actually going to buy. But what I'm going to do now, friends, I'll change this box here and show you where would the actual, where they go like, uh-oh, we are like so wrecked. We are so wrecked. We have to get back in. It's this box up here. Okay. So I wonder what's going to happen first, right? What's going to hit? See, you check everybody, friends. Everyone's got literally 80% chance that this hits first. That's what the crowd is pricing in right now. And they say only 20% chance this happens. Effectively, if you talk to everyone, everyone's got 0. Okay, so it's more like 80% and then 0. So it's going to be interesting. Like, subscribe, Billy Button, or catch you soon.